Well, it took over 72 hours to finally complete the Cup race, but we did it. And right after the race, Preston and I have joined you here at In the Marbles. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Beamer, Preston Lude, co-host. How's it going, Preston?
Welcome to the post-race show of the 72 Hours of Texas.
No kidding, man. It was such a long race, man. It was almost unbearable at times. And I tell you, man, I give it to Texas Motor Speedway. I applaud them and what they did because they worked nonstop, I feel like, for 3 days to get that track ready for the race. And it was a good race, and we'll get more into that. But, Preston, you came over to watch it, and I'm glad you did. It was a good race.
Yeah, it was a really good finish, and I mean, you know, just when we go back to Sunday, you know, a lot of people on Twitter have been talking about. I mean, what was Fort Worth area? Probably 2 hours behind Eastern time, I think it is.
No, it's 1 hour.
It's
behind.
1 hour.
Yeah.
So some people were like, "Oh, they brought up the whole we should start a little earlier thing again because what 3:30 was the start time, slated start time on Sunday."
Yeah, it was.
So I mean, I don't think that pushing it back a little bit. I mean, maybe it would have made a difference, maybe, but I mean, still, once they said that, you know, we're going to try and go racing, we're going to try and finish on Monday, and I was just like, I looked at the forecast and I was like, the forecast doesn't look promising for the next 2 days, anyways. So we're going to be here for a while.
It turned out not to be good for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Man, it was. You know, we thought we'd get it in Monday, and then we quickly realized, no, we're not going to get it in Monday. We thought we were going to get it in Tuesday. Then they said 6 o'clock. Then they said, nope, Wednesday.
Yeah, never mind.
And even Wednesday at 3 o'clock, they said, nope, 5 o'clock. And even then, it took at 6 o'clock. And then we finally finished at, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, so.
It was a long wait. And I tell you, it took, I think the official time of the red flag was 73 hours, 38 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Yeah. So there was
that
a lot
was
of
long red flag, man.
There was a lot of jokes on Twitter. You know, Matt DiBenedetto said, "If you need me, my new address is my truck at the Texas Motor Speedway. I now officially live here." And
yeah, I was listening to Sirius XM radio this morning, and they were talking to Jeff Burden, and he said, "Yeah, I like the new neighborhood. I like the new neighbors. I like the local restaurants."
There was one picture of Clint Boyer, and it was like Clint Boyer leading now, and then Clint Boyer when we finally get this race done, and it just had a picture of him aged. So
I saw that one too. There's a lot of good stuff coming on Twitter, man. But
it's wow, we get it done, and what a busy week it's been.
What a busy week indeed, and I'm glad we got you over to watch the race and you over to do the show. We're going to be burning the midnight oil, but rest assured, tomorrow morning when your Marbleheads wake up, we'll be there, not only on our platform, but on the Unhinged Sports Network.
Yeah.
So excited where that's going, man. It's a lot of good podcasts on there, a lot of good people on there. It's a lot of fun to listen to and watch, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's going places.
It really is, and I'm happy about it, but first of all, as we start off every show, how are you doing? How's the family? How's everything?
Things are well. Job's good. Family's good. So I can't really complain too much about life. You know, how are you?
I can't complain. Job's good. In the Marbles is good. Caroline's good. Everything's good, man.
Life is good.
Life is good, and starting to see Christmas stuff in Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart. So now I'm getting into holiday season.
Yep.
And excited about that, but yeah, other than that, life is good. I can't complain whatsoever about life. Just trying to live it day by day, man.
That's what I do.
I know, man.
That's my philosophy.
And new job going well?
New job is good. I enjoy it.
I think you already said that, but just to reiterate, new job is good.
Hey, it could fluctuate from week to week. You never know.
Well, it really could, and that's life in general. I feel it could fluctuate week to week, but the consistent thing about that is for 1 year, here at In the Marbles, we've been bringing you the most in-depth race coverage that we can and the most insightful race knowledge that we can give you, and working on bringing on an IndyCar guy on the show.
That I think that would be a great addition.
I think it would be an outstanding addition to the show because the IndyCar season just ended this last weekend, and I think maybe we covered 1 or 2 races.
Yeah.
This guy knows his IndyCar stuff.
Okay, see, that would be a good thing then.
So, and tried to have him on today. Couldn't happen. And I said, we'll wait till next year. So be ready, stand by. Hopefully that goes off well because I think it'd be good to have 3 people. And him to Indy is me to NASCAR and you to Formula One.
Okay.
He knows his IndyCar stuff. He loves it. So he's going to be our IndyCar guy.
Nice.
If we could get him on the show, which would be outstanding, not only for the show, but I think it'd be good for him because he has no one to talk racing to.
Well, then he can come on the show and talk racing with us.
And that's what I said. He was nervous about coming on the show. He thought he'd be scared. I'm like, bro,
dude, yeah,
we're talking racing.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, man.
I don't know much about IndyCar, but I'll learn through you.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about Formula One a lot, but I'll learn through Preston. We'll help each other, man.
Yeah, we're here for each other.
But, man, I'm glad everything's going well. Hope everything's going well out there in the world with everybody around the world listening to In the Marbles. We're almost done with October, close to the end.
Yep, we're getting
ready for the holiday season. But, man, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so we're going to hit the ground running. Hit the news. And the first piece of news I have, Preston, and there's no surprise here, that Lewis Hamilton, win number 92, breaking the record held by Michael Schumacher of 91. Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. I like cheering against him, but that's just me. I don't much, like seeing the same guy win over and over again in Formula One. Formula One's been notorious with this, I think, more so than any other form of motorsports.
Yeah.
That if the team gets it, they get it. We saw it through Ferrari. We saw it through Red Bull. We saw it now through the Silver Arrows and Mercedes Petronas. But he's well-deserving of it. And what are your thoughts on that, first of all, being the Formula One guy?
Well, I have to say this. So, yes, it may get a bit tiring seeing the same guy win over and over again, and that Mercedes has been dominating. But, I mean, you have to give the guy credit where credit is due. 92 wins is a lot. So, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton is all I can say. I mean, yeah, some people might like to root against him. They don't want to see him win at times because he wins all the time. But like I said, got to give it to him. 92 wins is very impressive.
And Jeff Gordon, when he retired, had 93.
Yeah.
But he didn't win every weekend.
No,
he didn't. And, going for, I think, the 7th World Championship there, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to him. And we'll get more into that on the rating of the races because, well,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you've already seen the writing on the wall with that one. Another piece of news from the world of Formula One, and this is, I think, one of the biggest news stories of the Formula One season. Shakes everything up for me. Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean will not be at Haas in 2021. Preston, how does that, you being the Formula One guy, shake up that seat, and what is Haas looking for in a driver and everything like that? Because they have Ferrari power, and Ferrari's not doing well across the board. So is this just let's try something new with drivers, or is this like a whole shakeup with the team?
I think this is a whole shakeup in general with the team. There's no shocker here that I think Haas is Gene Haas is probably on the borderline of, does he really want to continue to invest into the sport for years to come? They had some promise when they came aboard years ago. They had some decent finishes here and there, but this is a big shakeup. So now the question is, what drivers do they bring in? Are they going to bring in young drivers? Are we looking at developmental drivers from Formula 2? Are we looking at Mick Schumacher? Are we looking at Callum? I think it's pronounced Lott, if I'm not mistaken. But there are other guys out there that are rumored, like Sergio Perez is rumored to go there. There's rumors of, what if Nico Hülkenberg? What if they ask him to come on board?
Oh yeah, big one.
So so right now there's no writing on the wall. There's nothing set in stone, but there's a lot of rumors of who it could be. As far as where Grosjean and Magnussen end up, I'm not really sure. I don't know what their plans are after this. But
well, if memory serves me right, after seeing the latest who's in the filling the seat stuff, Hamilton hasn't re-signed with Petronas.
I think he's going to.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
We do know that some news that came over the week that Pierre Gasly's going to stay with AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
So Alex Albon, there's been rumors that, does he deserve to stay in that Red Bull seat? And I think Red Bull's still kind of backing him, that they're going to give him another shot for next year. So
yeah, why not? Give him one more year to develop. And
as far as Aston Martin goes, which is going to, Racing Point is turning into, we know that Vettel is there, but they haven't confirmed the other seat yet, which I'm going to assume is still going to be Lance Stroll.
Okay.
But we'll see. Like we said, they haven't confirmed that yet. And then, of course, Alfa Romeo, I think, is still going to be looking for drivers as well. So
still a lot of moving parts there in silly season with 5 races to go.
Yeah. So
now in the F1 season.
We'll see what happens.
Oh man, I can't.
I'm pretty excited about it. I want to know what happens. I really, in my personal opinion, I really want Nico Hülkenberg to come back.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people found that a very popular thing when he came back and subbed for Perez.
Yeah, and then he was subbing for Stroll last race. I think he deserves another shot.
It might be a good seat for him for that Racing Point or what? Alfa Romeo? I'm sorry.
Alfa Romeo? Or are you talking about Aston Martin?
Aston Martin.
Oh, Racing Point transitioning over to Aston Martin.
That makes sense.
I think it would be cool, but I mean, like I said, the team owner, Lawrence Stroll, has got so much pull in that since he's kind of like up top at Aston Martin as well.
I wonder who's going to go there.
And Lance Stroll.
Okay. I see how it works there in Formula 1.
So
it's all
see.
Who has the most money.
Honestly, if Nico Hülkenberg comes back, I will pull for whatever team he's there, whatever team he goes to. I enjoy seeing him. So,
all right.
He might be one of my favorite drivers, not just because his number is 27 either.
What's so significant about 27?
27 is like my lucky number. So that's how I became a fan of Paul Menard when he was in NASCAR. Well, I really found his neon cars to be cool. And then when he signed with Richard Childress and he was going to be in the 27, I was like, oh, this is like a win-win for me right here.
I get it now. Everybody gets it now. I wondered why for years that you were a Paul Menard fan, and it's just because of the number.
I became a really big fan of his over the years. I just enjoyed his. I just thought he kind of was like my style of racing. And I don't really like to. I like to just take it easy and keep the car in one piece, but I'm always looking for a good finish. So
I hear you, man. So. I hear you on that. But is that all you got with the likes of Magnussen and Grosjean not coming back?
Yeah, I think
that's a big piece of news for Haas.
I think that's what Haas is looking for. I think that's what they need.
I think it should be an American going in that car. I think that would pull a lot of American fans to this. I mean, the last American driver was Scott Speed. That didn't really turn out well.
I don't disagree with you on that.
And NASCAR. I mean, poor Scott Speed. I mean, obviously he can drive. He drove in the 2 top series in the world.
Yeah.
But I think an American driver needs to be with an American team in order to pull American audience to Formula 1 more so than that. Because I'd totally switch out all my Ferrari gear for a Haas driver.
Yeah.
If it was an American. That's just me. But that's half the fun of Formula 1. You get choose for your pull for the guy representing your country. It's like the Olympics for racing. Mm-hmm. So. And that's just me.
We'll just, like we said, we're just going to have to wait and see what comes of the seats there.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be fun to watch and see all that unfold there. But third piece of news I have, and I said it at the top of the show, we don't have an IndyCar guy yet, but I figured this is going to be a newsworthy thing. Scott Dixon wins his 6th career championship, winning 4 races in 2020. What an awesome job. Congratulations to Scott Dixon. He's well deserving of that. Very popular driver, very good driver there in the IndyCar series. And I wish I could talk more about it intelligently. I can't, but maybe our IndyCar guy, hopefully next season can, because I think it'd be good to bring that to the show and for everybody to look at, because IndyCar is a lot of fun. I've been to 1 race in IndyCar. It was so much fun. But, man, I tell you, that's awesome. Congratulations, Scott Dixon. I don't know how much further we could go down that rabbit hole.
No, we can't.
But the big piece of news just came out today, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday. So when you hear this on Thursday, everybody should know about this. Kyle Larson coming back to the 4th Hendrick car in the stable and driving the number 5 in 2021. When you sent this to me, I was thinking, you said something about Kyle Larson. I said, I haven't heard anything. Kyle's not confirmed. Right after I sent that message, Charlie sent me something saying Kyle's going to the 5 car. This is awesome, not only for Kyle Larson, but for Hendrick. What are your thoughts on it, first of all, Preston, because this is huge?
I like it. I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. This guy, he went through all he needed to do and more to make sure he could come back. And I think the writing was kind of on the wall in the past week when it was announced that his racing team, the dirt team, Kyle Larson Racing, was going to be closing down after this season. I was like, this is a clue right here. And I was going to bring that up. when we were going to do the episode, but then there you go. Kyle Larson is coming back in NASCAR and signing with Hendrick, so I don't need to bring it up now because it's
no,
there it is.
There it is,
so,
man. And I tell you this, when Briscoe got called up to the 14 car, I thought, and Alex Bowman going to the 48, I thought one of two things. One, Kyle Larson's not going to get a cup seat because if Hendrick goes down to a 3-car organization, which they've been talking about for a while, they're folding that 88 car.
Yeah.
That Kyle Larson's not going to have a good competitive seat in Cup. He might have to settle with a Go Fast Racing or something, a C team, in order just to get back into the Cup Series. But for him going right to the tippity top again, I mean, better than Ganassi Racing is Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah, it is definitely safe to say that Hendrick is a step up at this point.
And I'm quite surprised that it's a Hendrick organization because, one, it's a Chevy team. He was with the Chevy team. Chevy cut ties with him fast. But I think Chevy's now convinced that, okay, he's learned his lesson.
Yep.
And he's ready to come back. Rick Hendrick on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s download earlier today said, we live in a land where everybody deserves a second chance.
That is correct.
And I would say that to a point. I mean, you can't go out and murder someone or do something outlandishly crazy and expect a second chance. You'd have to do your time. But he did everything he needed to do required to come back. And he did it with class, and he did it with humbleness, and he did it with everything that he needed to do with all the haters. Not even haters. I haven't heard one negative thing about this guy coming back, about Kyle Larson coming back to the Cup Series.
No.
And that surprises me because, you look at the other end of the spectrum, and I hate to go down this rabbit hole, but we're in the news, and I get to say my opinion, and you get to say your opinion on topics. Like you look at Bubba Wallace joining the 23 Michael Jordan team, which his car number is going to be 23, which is pretty cool. That people are already doubting Bubba Wallace for what he did, and then you have Kyle Larson who made a mistake and said a racial slur, and then all of a sudden we're welcoming him back with open arms. And a lot of people on Twitter are saying that's a double standard. Mm-hmm. That Bubba Wallace is getting all this flack for doing what he believes is right, and then we all forgive Kyle Larson. I can see both sides of that coin, and I'd hate to get too far down into the weeds in this, or into the marbles, as we like to say. But I can see what they're saying, but I'm happy for Kyle Larson. I think a lot of people are Kyle Larson fans.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they're going to bring the 5-car back, too.
That's also historically awesome for not only NASCAR, but for Hendrick Motorsports. Terry Labonte drove that car.
Kyle Busch was driving that car when he started out.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, and then Dale Jr. for a race in Texas, as a matter of fact, after Kyle Busch wrecked and left, and then they say we fixed the car, and Jr. hopped in, and that was a precursor to 2008 there for Dale Earnhardt Jr. But, man, I tell you, it's just one of those things where good on him. He deserves it. I don't want to get too political about stuff because that's not what this show is about. This show is about racing. And if you can drive a car, you can drive a car.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, you make a mistake. Man up, do your time, pretty much what he did, Kyle Larson did, and move on. And that's what happened. And Kyle Larson coming back in 2021, man, I'm sure but like I said, there's not one person not excited about this on social media. And I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either.
But that is all the news. You have any other news, man?
Well, you mentioned Go Fast Racing. They're scaling back to part-time operations next season.
Oh, that's a bummer, man.
Yeah, well, there was the article explained that so the owner's son, who is the GM, is looking to expand into other businesses, and the owner himself is looking to spend time with his first grandchild that's going to be born soon. So I think they're going to race 5 or 6 races, I think it said, next year, but they're going to do races where they know it's financially makes sense, I guess you could say. So maybe a couple of super speedway
like
races.
Daytona 500,
yeah.
the Crown Jewels.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
that's
that's what it would probably make sense to do. So
all right.
It's a shame, but hey, I guess it happens. So.
It happens, and I think a lot of that has to do too with the delay in the Gen 7 car. Mm-hmm. That's why Levain family Racing is closing up shop. I'm sure that's why Germain Family Racing is closing up shop. I'm sure that's why a lot of teams in Go Fast Racing pulling back to part-time schedule is because that they were expecting that car to come out this year or in 2021 to save time and save costs and stuff. And then all of a sudden COVID happened and NASCAR said, no, we got to push it back, which I don't understand why, but I do at the same time.
COVID has really affected a lot.
COVID has affected all walks of life and everything in the sports and stuff like that. And there's no surprise that this is just another part of it. But that's a bummer, man. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. So
but that's all the news we have, folks. And we're just going to go ahead and get into our checkers and records from an exciting weekend of racing and get you ready and started gearing up for Martinsville.